There's some things in life that just send a chill down your spine, moments that make you stop in your tracks, and in Minecraft, there are plenty of those. I'd like to think I'm a decent builder, but there are a few things in this game that truly test me. Today we're facing some of those fears head on and tackling some of my biggest building struggles. Alright, what is up guys, and welcome back to another episode. So this is episode 5 of the Let's Play series. Last episode we were able to check off quite a bit of things that we wanted to get done, and we were able to successfully make a lot of things that looked really good. So today's episode is going to hopefully be the same. If we take a list or take a look at our to-do list, we have a couple different things on there. First being is we want to decorate the interior and the exterior of our house. I want to start building a greenhouse, which I will show you guys where I want to place that later. Don't think I've talked to you guys about that, but I think it's going to be a cool idea. And I also want to start decorating the garden area where all the animals are, and I think it's going to look really good when it's done, and I have a lot of really sick ideas for that area. So that is what is on the to-do list today, and I'm ready to get started on them. Okay, so for the house project, I think the first step is just cleaning up the different areas. I got a lot of little parts like this that need to be fixed and covered up. I want to terraform this area right here a little. I want to get rid of the deep slate up there, and I want to replace that with either spruce. I think it's probably going to be spruce to match this. I think that'll look the best. That's going to be the first step for the house, and I wanted to show you guys where I wanted to place the greenhouse. So right here, there's just kind of this little area that I started kind of chopping this mountain away, and I think this area will be perfect for the greenhouse. I don't really know what else to put here other than a field of some kind of crop, and I think the greenhouse will look pretty cool here. So I think this is where I'm going to put that. And then I do want to start making like crop beds, but I'm not sure where I want to start or how I want to start building them. So I think we're going to leave that for right now. But this garden area, I feel like is going to be pretty cool when I get it figured out. I also don't know why I have those two fence posts there. What are you guys doing here? I'm sure I placed this somewhere, or for some reason. But you might also notice that I have deep slate blocks out here, and this is marking something that I think is going to be pretty cool. Not something that I have a lot of experience building, but I want to tackle it, and it's going to be a pretty big project. So yeah, let's start on the house. Let's get this stuff finished up here. I think for this top floor up here, we're just going to make this very practical. We're not going to try to decorate it too much. And then for this middle floor, I have a couple ideas for in here that I think are going to be pretty cool, but I'm going to have to gather some resources real quick. But I think this area will turn out pretty cool. And then for the bottom floor, really not that much more that we need to do to this area in here. I'm trying to think of some ideas that we could do. I might just include a few little like tables and stuff in here just to make it look more worked on or worked in. And I also am going to put a door here with an employees only sign hanging somewhere or another right here. And I think that's pretty much it for down there. So let's go ahead and get on to the next part of this video, which is decorating the interior of this house. Alright guys, so we have the first level of the house done. You can kind of see a sneak peek over there. I actually really like how this turned out, and I feel like I crowded a good bit and I put a lot in here, but I think that's kind of the aesthetic that I'm going for, is just to have like a really super cozy, super crowded looking area and like inside of the house. So that's going to be a theme that you see throughout this whole thing, but I think it's going to look really good. There's also one other feature that I really want to show you guys, but I will show you as we kind of walk through this area, okay? So if you come in, I'm still going to work on the outside. I have some ideas for out here that I think is going to look pretty cool. But if you go in, you have this Beehive Tavern, and this is what I think is cool. So something about me is I have dyslexia. It's not as bad as it used to be, but when I was a kid, it was pretty bad. And I think this is a really cool feature, just like throwing a little bit of my personality into the world and making it more of my own. I spell some of the words wrong just to make it seem like it's natural, you know, because it is natural sometimes. Sometimes I do spell words wrong. So I think this area came out pretty cool. This little area right here, if you guys are new to this channel, you may not know what this is. I like to just keep like certain things throughout my whole world. Like this was my first horse's saddle. He passed away, so we kept his saddle. This was like a little memento from going to the Nether with my girlfriend. And then this, I just think this block looks cool. And these are some pickaxes and just some other different things. Added a little like brewing station here since this is supposed to be like a tavern. They are serving drinks, so we made that. We put the employee sign here with a little bit of misspelling. This will be like the wine storage, so there'll be wine. Another misspelled word, but like I said, I think it's cool. So we're gonna eventually try to fill these some. We'll see how that turns out. But we are now moving on to the second level, which is going to be where the actual customers are and different things like that. I also need to figure this part out. Oh, okay. I need to figure this part out and how I want to do this little like balcony area. I kind of keep forgetting this is out here, to be honest. But we're gonna go ahead and start on the second, if I can get up here. Second floor here. Let's go ahead and get this started. Alright guys, we are completely done with the interior of the house. I think it came out pretty well, and I've pretty much finished the outside as well. You'll see a few little details. I didn't add too much to it, but I think it pulls in the whole house really well together. So we're going to go ahead and start. I've already seen the first floor. We're just going to walk through it one more time though. I think it came out pretty cool down here. I like how it did. And I'll reminder that the second floor is not really for me. It's for the quote-unquote customers and the people who are going to be shopping at the tavern. I think it came out pretty cool. I think once I get these bookshelves filled as well, it'll look even better. We just have a bunch of tables in here for different people and just different customers. I really like how this section turned out. I think this looks pretty cool. And then over here is the kitchen area. I did have a bee in here. My goal was to have him like leashed up in here and him be like the cook, quote unquote, but he went into one of the beehives and I have not seen him out since. But I really like how this kitchen turned out. I also didn't know you could put the mushrooms in here. I think this is pretty cool. But yeah, I think the kitchen turned out pretty cool, pretty good. And then out here we just have another little seating area with a few berry bushes growing, different things like that. And then upstairs, we didn't do too much upstairs, but there's a little bit of work done up here. I wanted to keep this pretty functional still, but I did want to add a little bit of detail. So just spiced up the bed area a little, made this a very functional workspace where we have all the different tools. And then I kept this storage up here as well, just because I think I'm going to have kind of a split storage from here and down below the house as well. So I really like how this area turned out. I really like how this house ended up working into it. The outside, I still want to do some more things too. I want to I added a few more windows and a few things like this, but I want to add some leaves out here and some different like plant pots and maybe even some vines. I think some vines would look pretty good here as well. I also thought about going into like this area here and adding some yellow wool in. I think that might look pretty good, but I'm not sure. I need to mess around with it some more. But I just overall just want to add a few more details out here really quickly. So we're going to do this and then we're going to move on to the second task, which is starting this area down here. It's going to be a pretty big task, but I think it'll be fun. So the second part of this video and the second thing on our to-do list, which honestly scares me a little bit, and that's what the intro of the video is about, but we're going to be building custom trees down below where all of our farm animals are. If you guys don't know, tree building and making custom trees scares me so much, but we're going to go for it and we're going to see how it turns out, and whether they turn out good or bad, we're going to leave them for right now. And this will allow us to kind of reflect as we practice building our trees more and more throughout this series, and we'll be able to see how well we've come, and eventually, who knows, we might go back and replace these trees with better ones. But I have faith. I think they'll turn out pretty good, and we will see, I guess. But we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, so as you can see, we have completely finished building all of the decorations for the most part and all of the custom trees in this little biome area that we have here. And I think they came out pretty good. I was a little scared building all these, but I tried my best and I think they look pretty good. A couple spots I feel like I could tweak, but like I said, we're gonna leave this for the most part because I just want to see how well I do in the future with building trees, and I want to have these as a reference. I think this tree right here is probably my favorite out of all of them. I think it just looks really cool. I do want to add some vines. The vines are honestly a little overkill, and I might go in and take out some of them because there's certain parts that are just really difficult to get around and difficult to see through. So yeah, we might go in and take a few of those out, but for the most part we're done. And I really like this tree right here. This tree is also really cute. Just a little tiny simple tree that I think looks really cool. Alright, so the third thing on our to-do list today is get a greenhouse built. Now, I have talked about in the past videos where I want this greenhouse to be, and I think it's going to turn out pretty cool. I've already done the terraforming, so we're just going to we're going to jump straight into the building aspect of the greenhouse. Alright guys, so here is the greenhouse. I think this came out really cool. It's not I would say it's pretty similar to the house, but it's also got its own little different vibe. I think the inside of it looks really cool. I like the floor in here. I really like this aspect of this flower watering station. It's just dripstone, but every once in a while water like drips down just like this. It just looks like the flowers being watered every once in a while, so I think that's pretty cool. Here I have an auto composter, which has a trapdoor in it for some reason. Not sure why. And then this one is to throw out different things that needs to be thrown out. So basically just a giant trash can, which is very useful in times in here, especially when you have lots of seeds and stuff. And this lever is to turn that on, but it also flips a bunch of trapdoors. So this is the only place I can put it, and it's okay. But yeah, I love how this turned out. I like how the back is. I feel like at plant stores like this, and there's always just random contraptions that you have no clue what really is, but I think it looks cool, and that's what I was going for. Out front here, we have a little truck that is bringing in some flowers. Now, I did get this design from another person. Not really sure who that was, but shout out to them, whoever it is. And their truck is blue, but I kind of like the way the copper looks. I think it matches well with the vibes here. And I really like how this turned out. So I think the last few things I need to do is just add some bone meal around the area. Make it look a little more overgrown. And I think this place will be done. I'm excited how it turned out. And that is the third thing on the to-do list for this video. And I think we're pretty much done for today. Alright guys, so we are going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Helps me out a lot. Helps the channel out a lot. It was a lot of work in this build, or this episode. There was a lot of building. And I apologize for it being a little later than expected. I had a lot of health problems happen. Had to get to the doctor a bunch of times. And just got really busy. So we're planning on going back to the regular posting schedule. But I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Peace.